Hello. I don't know. We could just be not live at all. Okay, it says we're live. Yeah, it says we're live now. Yo, okay, cool. Hello, guys.
Hello, yeah.
I found them on the streets. We picked them up.
Literally off the streets.
Found Jason Todd once more. How's everyone doing? Watch it just be us.
It's actually just me and
you. Yeah, I know. We're just here. Hello again. Ultimate Spider plush. Did you make that? I like it. It's cool. See the little Spider-Man thing?
Oh, hell yeah.
All right, let's see if I can make this bigger so we can see. Someone says smash. Cool. Jason Smash. That's our addition to the character.
So, damn, I guess the last line of the movie.
Hello, guys. yeah, Jason Smash. Oh, man. Hello. Is that Jason Todd? It is Jason Todd. Jason. Oh, shit, it's Jason Todd. Hello. Will you wear wigs? Do we wear wigs in the movie? No.
No, but I probably should.
Maybe for part 2. Why is Francesco's hair always so long? Damn, dude.
Damn, yeah, I don't know.
Just need to go his way.
Yeah.
Can you describe your ideal plot for the Avengers Kang Dynasty? Is that the next one? I don't know. They end the Marvel universe and then it all just goes back to Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. That's it. That's the end.
Yeah, that sounds perfect, honestly.
How are you guys doing? We're good. Hello. Hey there. Sup, Franco.
Hello.
Oh, Franco.
Oh,
That's an old nickname
shit,
for
I'll
it.
take it. Yeah.
Kingpin show. That'd be cool. Jesus Christ, it's Jason Todd. That's like the Jason Bourne meme, you know, like Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne. Yes, I brought Francesco onto the stream. I dragged him kicking and screaming. I had to knock him out, sedate him, and then he woke up here and was like, what are we doing?
Yeah, carried me over.
Yeah, but okay, shit. Oh, thank you, Lewis, for the super chat.
Oh, wow, thank you very much. Also for the kind compliment, jeez.
Oscar-winning Jason Todd. Someone says volume up, please. Yeah, I can try to. Yeah, we thought that because the mic's weird. Let me up the gain. This might go really south. We're about to find out. Okay, that should be better. A little bit, hopefully. We'll just talk a little louder. Francesco, are you allowed to talk about the Superman and Lois audition? Are you legally allowed to talk about that?
Wow, that was so long ago that fuck yeah, I don't do that. I mean, there's not really too much to talk about other than that was like an audition that I got while I was in LA. I went to the audition. Well, actually I did a self-tape, got a call back, went to the studio and did an audition there, which was very cool to do an audition like in person, a lot of nerves. Well, not like an in-person audition, but an in-person audition that was that big. There were so many people there. Bunch of fucking shit going on, and yeah, I never heard from them, but yeah, it's a pretty cool experience.
And then when they cast the guy, it's funny because he kind of looks like you know what I mean, but like younger.
Young, yeah, the guy, definitely younger.
Yeah, and that dude, I always joke that I couldn't watch that show. Like I watched the show, but I couldn't do it if it was you, just because like you on a green screen flying around, like I couldn't separate it. I'd be like, wow, that's my friend. He's Superman's son.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I probably couldn't watch it if it was me.
Someone says, oh, there's so many. Okay, sorry guys. Can't wait to see the movie. My question is, what has been your favorite non-comic Jason Todd portrayal, aside from yours, of course? Probably Jensen, right?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Is that?
Yeah. That's non-comic book.
But it's like not live action. I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah. Jensen. If not, then I don't know. I really don't know.
The Batman movie video when? Eventually. Do you play video games? If so, what's your favorite? I do play video games. Haven't had much time recently. One of my favorites is BioShock. Francesco's a classic gamer. He's a Nintendo GameCube gamer.
I play a GameCube and that's about it. I'm not a classic gamer. I'm just, someone who never understood what happened past 2003.
What is your favorite GameCube game? Like, what's like the go-to if you had to pick one, like that you've played?
Melee.
Melee?
Yeah, Melee, good choice for sure. Or Gauntlet.
Oh yeah, you told me about that one. Yeah, any Gauntlet fans in here? Francesco, who are your inspirations? That's interesting. Who are your inspirations in life?
Honestly, like, I don't know. I feel like people that I know have to kind of be inspirations, right? Because I can sit here and like go on a list of people I've never met and say they've inspired me, which they definitely have, just like from watching their work. But it's got to be like the people around me. Like it's got to be like everybody that we work with. Like you inspire me. Shut up! I know you're gonna be like fuck that. But just like no, the whole cast, like the crew, the fucking like my acting coach. I don't know, the people I act with, like those are the people that I'm around day to day who keep inspiring me to keep going. You know, I could say like Marlon Brando's On the Waterfront performance inspired me, but also I don't know, I never met the guy.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I ditto that comment. I saw one that was interesting. I thought it was funny. Someone says, as an Italian, what did you think of the Mario movie? He did not see it.
I didn't see it, but you did.
I did.
What
did
you think?
I
as
liked
an American,
it.
You know?
I liked it. I thought it was fine. I think that like people expect it to be like Pixar, like really deep and stuff. But like as a casual Mario fan, I was like, this is fine. Someone says, is there actually a main villain of the Jason film, or is it more a psychological story? Yes and yes. I'd say there is a main antagonist, but I'd say overall the main antagonist is like abuse.
Yeah.
You know, like that's,
yeah.
Hey Jaybird and HiTop, give much love. Thanks, man. What's both of your favorite scenes you've shot for Jason? That's tough, man.
That's tough.
It changes on the day.
Can you say it without spoiling anything? Like a
yeah,
favorite scene?
Yeah, I can. I think honestly, one of my favorites is. I think early in the film, we can say this. Early in the film, there's a moment where you meet Willis as an adult. You meet Jason as an adult or a young man, and then you see how his relationship with Willis has changed since he was a child. And there's one scene with him and Willis that plays completely silent that I really love. What about you? Is your favorite a spoiler?
Fuck. Probably, honestly, yeah. Honestly, I think the scene that we're actually probably gonna show.
Okay.
One of my favorite ones.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna show a scene at the end of this live stream, so stick around.
Which, you know.
That's a great question. Someone says, how does Francesco feel when he watches himself act on screen like in The Plumber?
Oh god. Okay, here's the thing. I don't want to be like the fucking pretentious ass actor, but it's really hard to like watch yourself on screen. Like it's super difficult. I don't know. I just because when we're in the editing room and like I think the it has a lot to do with it, with the fact that like you edit, you know, we look at the footage every day. So after a while, I'm just constantly seeing myself nonstop, and I hate it, and I can't stand it. I gotta be thrown out of this room. Like I can't take it. And then after a while, maybe it grows on me. See, The Plumber was so long ago that if I watch it now, and it's not that long ago, but if I watch it now, I can appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know, even if I think I could have done a better job, or if I think I would have changed something in some moments, I can like it now. I can watch it. But during the editing process, I was like, "Get this shit out of here!
Get this shit out of here!"
Somebody like shut this guy up.
Yeah, it's definitely. I feel that. I feel bad, but I think he's so dedicated to like wanting the movie to be good that he'll be in the editing room. But I think seeing himself, it bothers you. It's not like the movie that bothers you. It's like the fact that it's.
It bothers me because I look at the movie and I'm like, wow, everything about this is great except me.
Yeah, because you're really self-critical. But he's great. Don't listen to him. Thank you for the super chat. Lewis again. How about Gotham Rogues anthology series set within Matt Reeves the Batman? That'd be cool. Like they're doing the Penguin. Like if they did the other villains, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That's the only connected universe Francesco keeps up with now is the Batman.
It's the Reeves verse, baby. That's where I'm at.
He's like,
I went from Raimi straight to Reeves.
Yeah, he skipped everything in between. MCU.
No, I saw Iron Man 1.
Yeah, exactly. How many of those? Oh yeah, there's one Iron Man 1. Was there a hesitation to make Jason at the time you did? Hell yes, in case you ever got to make it when you're a bigger name director. No, that wasn't really our hesitation. It was because we would never be allowed to make this movie if we had studio backing, if that makes sense. Like if we had more money and we were officially authorized to make this nonprofit fan film, then I think it wouldn't be the movie.
I think our freedom would get restricted significantly.
Yeah, and I don't think it'd get made. But there was hesitation to do it at this point in time. Like, should we wait till we're better? Because we had never shot anything of this length, let alone this scale. And so we're like, should we
talk about a lot, but after The Plumber, that like we should have made probably another 5 movies before we tried to make this.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Jason was film school in a sense, like more than anything else has ever been. Someone says, do you want the Snyderverse to continue? I'm all for letting Zach just do what he wants. You know, like I'm not a fan of it, but I'll watch it. You know what I mean? In your experience, thank you Redhead Media for the super chat. In your experience, what aspect of filmmaking was the toughest to learn from writing, lighting, cinematography, editing, etc.?
You should talk about this because you did every single one of those.
I don't know. I wouldn't even say I technically know lighting. I just light so that it looks the way I want it to. Like, I don't know 3-point lighting setups. I don't know color temperatures that well. You know what I mean? Like, I could not teach a class on lighting. I'd just be like, oh, this looks good to me. I think the hardest thing is probably something that the thing that you have to nail, because you can forgive a shitty fucking lighting setup or a bad shot or like a messy edit, but if your story isn't there, I think writing is probably the toughest to get down. Not that I have it down, or you know what I mean, but like it's the toughest and most important one, because if you don't have that blueprint, you're gonna be lost. You know what I mean?
I kind of have a question.
For me?
Yeah,
Okay.
after that.
Yeah.
So like if you say you light based on how it feels and how it looks without knowing any actual lighting setups that are like you know, as per written.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know do you know how to like, do you know focal points? Do you know camera setups as they should be, or do you go with that by the vibe too?
I think I know. I learned a lot about aperture and f-stop making shit, but I do also just go by instinct.
Yeah.
Like, we were on set, and I remember our brilliant one of our brilliant assistant directors and B-cam operator Rebecca was like, "You don't like shoot with grids on or like zebras or anything." Right, like that. I'm like, no, not at all, never. But I don't think you could get away with that if we.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. You couldn't
we
get
get away.
Yeah, we would get away with it in our shit. If I'm the only boss, then we'd get away with it. But I think if I was ever hired to shoot something on like a set where I had like another camera guy, he'd just slap me across the face. But no, I think a lot of it is instinct, and I don't want to discourage people. I don't think you need to really know any of that stuff. It helps. Like, it helps to know what different lenses do to affect the image. But I think that so many people get caught up in the technical jargon of you must shoot below this ISO point, you must do this, you must light like this, that you lose the creativity and everything ends up looking like the same kind of student film. What should my budget be for my first claymation film? However much you can realistically get without going broke. You know, I mean, I know it's a shitty answer, but I think that's don't like be in debt, but as much as you can get. If budget weren't an issue, which Batman characters, villains, or stories would you like to adapt? I don't think budget ever really got in our way, like on this one at least. We weren't like, we have to. There were ideas of like, but it wasn't about character. We did every character we wanted to do so far, but it was mostly just about like, oh, we wanted a fucking snowstorm, and that's probably a $2 million task, like when it's not really snowing. And that's about the biggest enemy was weather that we'd like to adapt in movie. And
I think adapting a character isn't necessarily determined by the budget. Mm-hmm. Like how the look of the movie and the vibe and the feel that we want. Yeah, you know, if we had an endless budget, we could make it look as amazing as we want it to. Mm-hmm. But I don't think we'll like stop at adapting a character we want to adapt just because we might not be able to quote unquote afford it. Yeah,
especially with Jason, it's easy to do. Not easy, but it's easier to do a Jason Todd story than it would be to say if we wanted to do a Spider-Man thing. Where like there's the like Jason doesn't have superpowers, and that changes the game. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Thank you for the super chat, by the way. I'm trying to answer every super chat and other questions too. You guys are being so kind. Hey, Francesco, if Alex made a Spider-Man film, would you play Peter?
Oh, he would never cast me as Peter. Jesus. I've been trying to pitch this to him for the last 25 years.
Yeah, you're Uncle Ben, man.
Yeah, I'm Uncle Ben in 25 years.
Yeah. Jay, what does it feel like in the Robin pants?
Tight.
Tight. As an aspiring screenwriter, I'm struggling with being productive. Any advice? I think we all struggle with being productive, but I think it's just about holding yourself to a higher standard than most people do. If you want to be an artist, you have to be your biggest boss in a sense. You know, like no one's going to give you permission to do something. You have to take that permission. But on the other side of that, it's like you have to set your own deadlines and you have to find will within yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Fuck, I can.
What are your thoughts and feelings about Sam Raimi being interested in directing Brave and the Bold? That's like the Damien Batman movie they're working on. I'd love to see his take on Batman, especially if the villain is Scarecrow. Keep up the good work. I mean, I'm of the opinion that they shouldn't do two Bruce Waynes in live action at the same time, even though we're doing one, but it's different. But like two big budget Bruce Waynes, even if one's tone is completely different, I'd love to see Sam Raimi do something in the Batman universe. That'd just be interesting because you wouldn't really think about it like that, right? You wouldn't go to him as the Batman guy.
Yeah, I wonder like what he would pull, something like that.
He'd probably go crazy with it. Like he'd actually have Clayface be a shape-shifting monster,
Yeah.
you know, and like Mr. Freeze, this huge guy, and you know what I mean? Like I think it'd be cool. And he'd do a great Scarecrow because like the horror roots. I'd love to see Sam Raimi do like a villain movie, not a Batman movie, if that makes sense. Like Sam Raimi's Clayface or Sam Raimi's, I don't know, Scarecrow would be cool. Can I upload my Jason fan trailer? Of course you can. You have full permission. Not that we even can give you permission because we don't own Jason. But yes, please do. Thank you for making one. Are you planning to sell Jason or to DC or anything, any way to make profit? No, we're not making any profit whatsoever. We're actually going broke making the movie, as I've joked about before. But here, I'm going to shrink this because I feel like... Whoa, no. Sorry, guys. I'm shrinking the chat. But no, we don't plan to sell it or anything. It'll be released completely for free on here. The only profit we made, which is nothing, was from Indiegogo, and then it all went into the movie. We didn't personally make any money off of Jason Todd, the character, whatsoever. Someone says, will you be surprised when you eventually get sued by Converse? Wouldn't that be funny if it's not DC who sues us? It's like HiTop. That'd be pretty funny. As an aspiring screenwriter, I think I answered that question. I think so, about the being productive. I did. Yeah. Cool, guys. Let me look at some stuff. What inspiration did you use for the Robin costume? We just talked a lot about like what our Jason's costume would be. Like we had the character pretty much not down per se, but like we didn't start at the suit. We worked towards the suit based off who the character was. We had a screenplay before there was ever a thought of the costume. And it's very much a Gideus Designs input brought it all together. But I think we talked a lot about how punk it should be.
Like, a lot of it is like, what does Jason's input look like on a Robin costume that has been already worn by someone else? So like how does he change it to fit himself? What does he add to it? What does he take away from it that is him and not whoever was previous to him, whoever's after him, whatever, regardless of whatever Batman wants. Like it's whatever he wants.
Exactly.
It's like the first time he can feel something.
Exactly. And he's not a kid in our story when he meets Bruce. So it's like and our idea was that like this was Dick Grayson's costume that was then modified by Jason and Bruce together to be what Jason's Robin is. And the difference between, I think, Dick, and a lot of people gave a shit because there's no green on the costume, but for us, I was always like, the Flying Grayson's colors were green and yellow. Jason's colors have always been black and red. You know what I mean? And so that's how that evolved. And so we cover up elements of green, like, and yellow. So the R logo was yellow, and then it has a bit of spray paint on it, as if Jason's like, get rid of this Dick Grayson stuff. Not that he has anything against Dick personally. He just wants to make it his own, I think. Thank you, Lewis, again, man. Super chat's so kind, dude. They help us make better movies, and they help keep us alive. Should DC just give up on the cinematic universe and focus on making films like The Batman, other films like A Green Lantern or A New Superman? Yeah, I think that like if you start trying to connect shit at the start, you end up rushing it like they made Snyder do, you know? Like I'm sure Snyder's Batman v Superman, before they were like you have to put in like the dawn of justice element, is probably like a better idea on paper. I think eventually you could connect stuff. I think it'd be cool if like in 10 years Pattinson's Batman met with whoever the new Superman is. But you don't have to do it in 4 years. You can take 10 to do it. You know what I mean? Just focus on telling a good story. That's my answer to the question. Thoughts on the Batman Who Laughs? I haven't read any of that stuff. That's like Joker Batman. It's like a cool design. Haven't read any of that stuff, even though I like Scott Snyder, but I want to. I saw somebody else say this. How would you feel about Sam Raimi doing Spider-Man 4 Tobey? He said at a con recently that he would do it. I mean, we'd be there day one.
Yeah, day one.
Yeah, exactly. Like, of course. I'd love it if he wanted to come back and he got to do whatever the hell he wanted to. I'd love it. Is Bruce Wayne Batman going to appear in Jason in any form? Yes. Someone says Tim Drake. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Tim Drake, should he be Red Robin or the Gray Ghost? In our story, I can't answer that question, but Tim Drake, I like Red Robin a lot. I really do. That's like when Bruce is dead in the comic books. Tim becomes Red Robin, like the burger joint, but his costume's cool, and I love that storyline. Someone says, stop ignoring me, bro. What are your thoughts on BoJack Horseman? I didn't see that till now. I'm sorry. Have you seen BoJack?
No,
I haven't
seen
either.
it.
I think I watched like the first episode one time.
Me too.
Someone says, I'm making a low budget film for a school project and I'm trying to film in public areas. After asking permission, we were denied. Any advice on making low budget films? I don't want to tell you to beg for forgiveness instead of ask permission, but I mean, it depends on where you're trying to film, right? Like, we got permission to shoot in a lot of locations for Jason, but there's also shots where Jason's just in an alleyway and we didn't ask permission. But if the cops had shown up and told us to got out, we would have. Yeah. But also, I think that if you have a small enough crew and you check your city's laws, like in Pittsburgh at least, as long as you're not taking up street space and you have like a handheld camera or like a low rig with like less than like, I don't know, 10 crew members, you're not doing anything wrong. You don't need a permit. So it just depends on where you're at. But I would just go for it, honestly. But then just be careful when you go for it. Don't be stupid about it, I guess. Like, don't bring like fake guns in the middle of the street. Don't, you know what I mean? Don't do stuff like that. Don't be like us. We have so many stories about that we could get into eventually of cops pulling up while Chesko's in the Robin suit back when we were kids doing something. Yeah. It's just Gatorade. You see any questions that speak to you? I feel like I've been talking too much.
Well, that's a nice.
Sexy Alfred. I see that. Wait, I saw this one. I feel like I want to make a personal script about the heartbreak and alcoholism as a teen. As a teen, what helps you write personal elements of your life into a story? How do you overcome being afraid to tell a personal story? That's a good one, man. I think there's always that element of fear, like that you're sharing too much of yourself, or you're giving too much of yourself. I feel like I gotta pee, so I'm gonna leave you again with this.
Okay, great.
No, but I feel like you have a great perspective on this because every time you act or embody, even if you're embodying someone else, you're being so personal. Like, you're sobbing and you're not doing it in a pretty way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Well, I think it's like about the empathy that you bring to it.
I'll be right back, I swear.
Yes. Yeah. No, I think my only answer for that question is that, like, you have to approach it with an empathetic angle, and when you tell the story, you have to be true to everything that it stands for. So, if you're talking about a sensitive subject matter, like recovery or any other thing that real people have gone through, whether that is you or not, the real deal is out there, and you have to do right by them. So, I think just being as transparent, as empathetic as possible, and using the message in the story or whatever reason you're telling the story for good purpose rather than to exploit it, obviously, that is the best thing that you could possibly do. Because people do need to hear these things. And unfortunately, a lot of times there's not great things being told about these subject matters, and they should be. Let's see if I can scroll over here. I can't even use a computer anymore. Any tips on hiring actors for short films? Tricking friends, actually hire someone. I can answer this one because we started making films when we were in high school, and it was literally just us, and it still pretty much is, except we've been able to expand a little bit based through making more and more movies. I think you start out with the people that care about something as much as you care about it. We're talking about hiring actors for short films, or like just having your friends. And I'm saying that, like, when we started, like, it literally was just us the entire time. We didn't know any actors, we didn't know anybody, but it's like we all knew that we wanted to do this, we all knew that we wanted to do something, we all knew we wanted to film, tell a story, so then we just do it. And then as it progressed, we got the chance to be able to talk to other people who were storytellers, who were actors, who were experts in certain fields that are needed, and then just build a community from there. But I think you have to start with having a connection with somebody before, like, we're friends before we're artists, but we're friends before that. And that allowed us to be able to work together better than if we had just met because we both were artists.
100%. And I think that's beautifully said. I think also try to become friends with your team. You know what I mean? Like, don't just be like, hey, I want to hire you for a job. You know what I mean? Like, we made sure a lot with most of our cast to, like, make sure we had Zoom meetings if they were in California and just talk about the story and talk about their lives. And, like, you know, you want to have trust on a set with your actors, especially because if your actors don't trust you as a filmmaker, it's a nightmare, I think, you know, and you don't trust your actors, you need that trust. Like that's kind of, I'd say that's arguably the most important thing on a film set is trust. Like,
yeah,
get on the ground and fucking cry. And if you, I'd never say that, but there's a scene in the movie where that happens, and it's like, if you didn't trust me, you'd be like, why the fuck am I doing this? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. No, I agree completely. There's a question I saw out of the corner of my eye that needs to be addressed, and it was something about paying to audition. You should never do that.
Oh, no.
There was something about should I pay to audition if I'm a beginning actor? You should never do that, even if it's your first audition ever. If anybody asks you to pay to audition, it's a scam. Stay the fuck away. Get the fuck off that set.
100%. 100%. 100%. How would you feel if Matt Reeves introduced Jason in the Batman films? That's a good question, because I'd be excited, but I'd also be sad, if that makes sense. Because right now I feel like Jason, he's not ours, and he never will just be ours, but we're not done telling his story. And so if Matt Reeves brought Jason Todd into like the popular culture, and I'm sure he'd do it brilliantly, I'd be so excited as a fan of the character, but I think a part of me would be sad, because I'd be like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, I'd be like, he's no longer in like our hands right now. Yeah, in a sense. Not that he ever was, but you know what I mean. Okay, I'm the annoying guy who won't stop asking about writer's block, or what I call writer's constipation. I like writer's constipation.
Yeah, it's better.
I always say this, and it could be shitty advice, but I think just you got to live life in order to write, if that makes sense, right? I feel like you sit down and if you're like, I need to write today, you know what I mean? It never really flows out if you're putting that forced kind of like, today I'm going to write a screenplay. But I think the best ideas hit you in the shower at 3 a.m. or the best ideas hit you when you're out with friends, and then just always have your mind open to creativity, but don't try to force the constipation out. You know, life is writer's constipation's laxative. There you go.
Man, write that down.
I know, right? That's how they're my fucking tombstone. Oh man, what does a typical day of shooting look like for you gents? I saw that somewhere.
I did see that actually, somewhere too.
Yeah, what did it look like?
Well, it starts kind of late.
So yeah,
we usually do night shoots.
The sun. We wake up at 3 in the afternoon because we were up till 7 in the morning.
Yeah, it was all 7 a.m. the day before, looking at the edit.
Yeah.
And looking at the dailies. Yeah, we wake up at 3. We meet up at 5. We go and shoot at 6, and then we shoot till 6. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
Pretty much is a lot of illegal substances, and no, I'm just kidding. Damn, need to shower at 3 a.m. Sometimes you do, you know. Sometimes you do. Oh no, the mouse isn't going to the other one. Does this work? No, I'm so confused. Okay. Well, oh wait, no, it did. Sorry guys, technical difficulties. Someone said, Ultrastar Gamer said, I know you're a fan of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies. Raimi recently said he'd be interested in doing it and setting it after No Way Home. Thoughts? I'd like that. I liked what Toby did in No Way Home. I'm not a huge No Way Home fan, obviously, but I think that having Toby be older and seeing where his life is, and if they could get back Kirsten, that'd be awesome. You know what I mean? Like, that'd just be cool.
That'd be sick.
Right? You know, just to see that. I think give him less money, honestly. Like, let's do like a small scale Spider-Man story set in the Raimiverse. I'd love it. You ever see any situation where it'd be acceptable to the audience for Batman to end a person's life? Wouldn't that be make for a compelling story? I think that, like, here's the thing. Unless you really... Every writer wants to change the game. Every writer wants to come in and make Batman a serial killer because it's different, right? But there has to be, like, a justified reasoning to do that in your story. And it better be worthy of, like, the fact that I think the no-kill rule isn't a moral high ground, as Jason Todd says. I love that Jason Todd believes that in Under the Red Hood. But I think that it's literal Bruce's own kind of psychosis in a sense, where I think if he wanted to kill someone, he couldn't. Like, his body wouldn't let him, you know? I think that, like, it also just is Batman's always on the verge of being a bad guy, right? Like, everything about him is anti-hero-like and bad guyness. Except that like he has these little things that keep him from that, you know, like, and I think having a rich billionaire who is so depressed and then not only, you know, beats on people but murders them fundamentally switches the kind of heroicness of Bruce Wayne. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I like that he like walks that line.
Yeah.
And And I think if you cross over that line, then you bend the character so much that it breaks.
It snaps in half. Yeah, exactly. We had talked about how, and I can say this because I don't think we'll ever do this, how I think that the only time that I would ever even write a story where Batman kills someone is, I think if you're ever going to do it, it's after Jason Todd dies and then Batman kills the Joker, but then Bruce would just retire. I think Batman's gone, and then you can bring back Terry years later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if he ever killed someone, not like Titans did it because that was really messy, but the idea of that I think is the acceptable Batman murdering, is if someone did something so horrible and Bruce lost control, but then I think Bruce would have to just become a hermit, like disappear completely. And I don't even think that makes it interesting because then you never get the kind of depth, I think, of like, oh, this guy killed Bruce Wayne's kind of adopted son, but he still didn't kill him. You know what I mean? Like, that's interesting. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think this version of Jason's favorite member of the Bat family is? Alfred? Barbara?
Barbara, I was going to say.
Barbara? Yeah, we had talked about that a lot. Barbara, I think. Someone says, hey, Jason Todd. A lot of hey, Jasons.
Hello, hey.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
Kendall says, ever heard of Young Justice? Yes, I have. I loved season 1. The show deconstructs characters like Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson while never making them a primary focus. Jason Todd never appears by name, but his death is felt. I saw that they had like the hologram of all the people that died, and it was Jason was in there. But I do like Young Justice. You still gonna show a clip? Yes, we will show a clip. In addition to in real life experience, is there any comic storylines that influence the plot of Jason? The original stuff.
The original stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
just another kid in crime alley, like the Ma Gun stuff.
School.
That stuff, yeah. I made you read that, and I was like, he's gonna fucking hate it, but you were like, this is awesome.
Yeah,
like,
it was great.
Do you think the Bat family has watered down, or at very least distracted from the gothic and psychological roots of Batman as a character? I think that we have yet to see, at least in film, I think there's ways to bring in Robin. Like, I think it's such a not childish take, because who am I to call Chris Nolan fucking childish, or Tim Burton, but like to be like, oh, Batman loses all validity. Like, I could, like, Bale being like, I could never have a Robin.
Yeah.
I think that just simplifies it too much. Like, yeah, you have to work hard to make it work that he has these sidekicks, but he's still this gothic character. But I think that there's ways to do it. You know, I think there's perfect ways to do it. And they're tough, but have you ever thought, your hair is gorgeous, look at that. Thank you, Casey.
Well, thank you, Casey. Thank you very much.
Have your thoughts changed on Gotham at all? I've been rewatching the series, and I still think it's really solid. I love Gotham, man. The show, I love it.
Gotham Stan.
Yeah, I am Gotham Stan. Oh, we do. I just think it's brilliant. I love how quirky it is and how twisted it is, and I think Robin Lord Taylor as the Penguin's just like fire. Every actor's fire. Looking at you guys side by side, you both look awfully similar. Yeah, it's because we're both wearing white shirts with necklaces right now. It wasn't fucking planned.
It wasn't intentional.
Are you ever gonna try to make a film for the big screen? Yeah, of course. That's the dream. Chesko, how did you approach the acting process? What's your mindset going into a role, and what did you expect? What do you expect out of a director? That's a great question, because I definitely didn't deliver on any of that.
Shut the fuck up. That's hard, man. I mean, the process, I guess, like, I have my own and everybody has their own too, and it's different, whatever works for you. But for me specifically, it's really, the beginning is like changing my daily habits, like really getting as far away from myself as possible. It's kind of twisted and fucked up, but I love the idea of not being me for as long as I can. So like I go into it as much as I can, and I really do by like changing it from every little detail to big ones. Like, you start at the big ones first, and then you work your way down to the point where I would change, like, where I get up from bed in the morning, or how I shower, or how I brush my teeth, whatever it may be, like day-to-day things that are maybe minor, but they'll do something to you. What you're wearing, all those things will, like, definitely affect you. I think when you're first taught acting, you're often told a lot to, like, use a lot of yourself into the character, like, put as much of yourself as you can, which is very good advice, and I think that's partially true. But I also think that once you grow into the craft a little bit more, you have to allow for the imagination to kind of take over the part of the character building. Because as much as, like, you may be interesting enough to portray the character, your every day how you are isn't necessarily always going to translate. And you have to be able to buy into another reality. That's my biggest thing. Like, everything has to be real. I can't lie. on screen. I can't pretend. It has to like mean something, and it has to have a backstory, and it has to be tangible, and it has to be as real as it can. And I think that you generate that from imagination more than people may think at first.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, no, I love that.
From a director, what I expect, no, honestly, like, director's the fucking captain of the ship, and it's like, you need to have the understanding where they have to have a very strong point of view and a very strong vision, and that's what I expect, because I have a very strong point of view and a very strong vision. But then you have to also be able to have like the empathy to coincide, and like, and that's that. And if you can have that, then that's like harmony, and you can make a movie.
Yeah, I think I don't know how directors who are more dictators on their set. Like, I couldn't make a movie that way. Like, I love other people's input.
But I get somebody, like, you can't... I feel like the director has to have a very strong point of view.
Yeah.
A very strong idea of how they want things to be executed.
Yeah.
Just also as much of strength and an open mind.
Yeah.
To allow things to change.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, not having an idea of what you want is also bad for the actor if you're the director, so...
I also, for me at least, when it comes to directing, I know what I don't want more than what I want, if that makes sense. I'm open to everything, but I know what I don't want. You know what I mean? Like I'll never be like, oh, that takes not what I want. It would more be like, oh, I think we need to go in this direction for the character, I think. But I'll know, like, if you do something, if you're like, I'm making a choice here, like, I'm always so open to any choice, but I know when to be like, okay, I don't think this choice works with an actor if they're making a choice. But I love that actors make choices. If your actors aren't making choices, you know what I'm saying? You're fucked.
I also feel like 95% of those conversations happen before you roll.
Yeah.
You know, like,
there's never like any...
Because like from take to take, it's that drastic. Because it is true that you are open to an endless amount of choices. But once you're on the set, like, you better have your choices narrowed down. You better know, like, how you would react. Yeah. You know, there's a million options when you're developing the character. But after you're on the set, you better have your work done as the actor to know how somebody would react.
Yeah.
Or how your character would react based off how something happens. And those are very specific choices. And that's where you no longer can experiment really with that. You just have to know and then, like, trust yourself to play into it or let it live in it. And
a set, you have a very set period of time on set. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should have these conversations before set. I saw one. Someone said, where do we send fan art? The Twitter, Instagram. You can tag me on Twitter or him on Twitter. It's at Fra De Mayo, right? Fra _ De Mayo. Yeah. And then you can tag me. It's at HiTop Films, I think. That's what I check the most. Yeah, please send fan art. We have it. We hang it up in the house. I saw a bunch of good questions.
I didn't shut the fuck up.
Dude, you're fine, man. I love it. How do I deal with wanting to talk about something but not getting to say it because no one understands or cares? I think that's the struggle that we all feel, right? Like, you scream it until someone listens, or you whisper it until someone's kind enough to listen. You know what I mean? I think never lose that, though. Don't let like apathy bring down your empathy, so to speak. Like, care about what you care about. Fuck everybody else. Like, if we had given up on the shit we cared about, man, every time someone, like, especially for me, like, when I was in fucking middle school, I used to get called fucking names and shit and, like, kicked around because I liked Batman, because we were born too fucking early. Where now all this shit's popular.
Now it's all cool.
Yeah, now it's all cool, like, this shit. But when I was a kid, I got fucking bullied for it. And, like, if I hadn't, I wouldn't be here if I had listened to that apathy, so to speak. Do you think Bruce Wayne should end up with an official long-term partner? I'm always a Bruce and Catwoman fan. I want them to end up. Bruce and Andrea, or Bruce and Catwoman. Those are my two. Phantasm or Catwoman are my two picks for Bruce. Jay, when you put on the Robin suit, do you say damn? Do you say in your head, damn, I gotta put on these damn pants? Yeah, he actually does. I think a little bit.
Damn these fucking pants.
Any tips on marketing for short films on YouTube? I think you just post it on Reddit, post it everywhere, share it with your friends, post on Facebook. When we were making our shorts, I used to post on Facebook all the time. Like, I'm talking monkey business.
I remember that.
Yeah. Alex, what was the Spider-Man fan film that you used to have on the channel about? Just curious. That's a deep cut. What was it about? Peter Parker was dealing with... honestly, dude, I don't even fucking remember what the actual plot was.
What do you mean? It's a masterpiece.
Peter Parker's dealing with the hecticness of life, and Harry Osborn becomes the Green Goblin. and his relationship with Gwen is strained. That was a fun time in my life, man. That was a fun time. Are there any big stunts in the movie? There's a few that we didn't plan to be stunts, but the ever immaculate, dedicated Kevin Sinek and Francesco, they're both crazy. That's all I'll say.
Oh yeah.
Jason is your favorite Robin, but who's your favorite Batgirl minus Cassandra Cain? I think I gotta go Barbara. I'm a Barbara fan. I love Barbara Gordon. What did you think of the Penguin teaser trailer? I thought it looked great. I'm excited, man. Anything in the Reeves verse will be seated. Isn't that funny, dude? We'll like post Jason Penguin episode 1 will drop, and then we'll just slowly die. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that one.
Thought you guys were in different rooms with LEDs separating you guys. Yeah, look, I can touch him. There you go. He's real. He's not a hologram. Any new video essays coming out? Yeah, I'm working on a Batman Beyond video essay that I think is kind of my best work in a long time. I'm excited to share. Is there a song you would like to use for the film but couldn't currently because of having to pay for licensing? Yes. Lots.
Yeah,
lots
like
and lots and
song.
lots. Yes. We're trying not to tempt track with
music we can't use.
Yeah, because we'll want it and then we can't have it. But yes, lots. Specifically Angel Baby, I would love to put in that opening that we have edited in the background. My voice just shaggied right there. In the background, I'd love to put that there, but like we don't have the money for that. That's a good Chesco question. Tips on balancing work and filmmaking. Just finished film school and have to work a 9 to 5 to pay rent. You do that more than I do. I'm lucky enough because of you guys to be able to create full time. But
oh yeah. Fuck. I don't know if I have any tips. Like I don't have the best advice to give because I struggle with this pretty much on a daily. But like just keep going and keep at it because like the passion and the love for the craft, whatever it may be, it has to just be stronger than whatever day job you may have. And you respect the day job by going to it, but at the end of the day, that's what supplies the craft. Like that's what keeps that afloat. If you weren't working, you wouldn't be eating. If you wouldn't be eating, you wouldn't be able to make the movies that you want to make or write the thing you want to write. But know that that's why you're doing it for. And the second that you can ditch the job, I think, for the craft, that's the second you do.
Yeah. Perfectly said, I think. Francesco is Lex. Would you ever play Lex? That'd be cool. That'd be fun. Lex Luthor. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I feel like
you may have to give me a little bit of time for that one.
I don't know, dude. If they do a young, Superman, you could do it, man.
Yeah. Huh.
Someone says, "Hey Alex, how come Willis Todd was recast?" Just wondering. Also, Francesco, what did you feel when you put on the suit for the first time? It was just creative differences. It didn't. Our original, we didn't see eye to eye, I think, on some things, and it just wasn't right for the movie, and it sucked to do for everybody involved. It sucked, because we had worked hard and he had worked very hard, but I'm so happy that we ended up taking a step back and reworking the character. It was also just we wanted to rework the character a bit.
I think we needed more time overall.
Yeah.
See, that was like one thing that we might have rushed.
Yeah, I think so.
Casting one actor and then jumping right
trying
into
to
something.
do it. Yeah, but Eddie Vincent as Willis is incredible, and I can't wait for you guys to see. I think it's such a brilliant performance, dude. Eddie might actually fucking get.
Eddie's insane.
Eddie's already great, but Eddie might
insane.
blow up from this. I think he's so good.
Eddie's cut from a different cloth.
I love Eddie, man. And what did you feel when you put the? You were like, get me the fuck out of here.
The first time I put the suit on, it didn't feel very, very good. Looking at myself was kind of surreal because I was like, shit, I look like a superhero. I mean, really, that is crazy. It's still a crazy feeling. I still feel that same way. But now, putting on the suit, because I guess I got used to it, slimmed down a little bit. It feels great.
Yeah, I think the first time we put it on, we didn't really know how to put it on. We were on the phone with Egidius, who designed the costume, and
I had just gone through the Mickey D's drive, so
well, we didn't know how it would fit and what weight he would need because he wasn't in. Because Jason's not with Batman for a lot of this movie, so you didn't need to be super jacked or anything. So it was trying to figure out where we needed to be with it, and it's just uncomfortable. I've worn Spider-Man suits a lot. It's not that bad now, I think, but the first time being in it. But also
now it's great, honestly. I like being.
He'll put it on right now.
I'm putting it on tomorrow.
Yeah, he is putting it on tomorrow. Top 5 Batman stories. Oh fuck, dude, that's hard. Long Halloween, Year One, Ego, Dark Victory. I don't know. That's what we'll go for now. And Mask of the Phantasm.
Damn.
Do you think finally introducing Robin in a Batman film is a little too late? Is a little too late. I feel like they had so many chances to introduce him, but whenever they do, they get cold feet. No, I think Reeves might do it. I think that'd be cool. The boy Joel Schumacher did it in there. And that worked. I thought that worked. I think it works more in that movie than it does in And Robin. You know what I mean? Like, I think having... I'm a Chris O'Donnell fan in this household. I don't blame him. But I think they should. I mean, they are. They're doing it with Damian, and that's, of course, the one they're doing because it's easiest to make work, right? Because if you do Dick Grayson, it's like, oh, Bruce Wayne took this kid in whose parents just died. But if you do Damian, it's like this little ninja is about to kill everybody, so it makes sense why Batman takes him in. Do you prefer armored Titan Batman or cloth suit invisible bullet shrugging Batman? I'm not an armored Batman fan. It depends. Like, I like the Batman's armor. Yeah. I like subtle armor. You know, I'm not a fan when characters are like so beefed up in plating and stuff, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree.
We should show the clip soon. We're at 46. We're going to go for an hour. 15 more minutes. If there's any burning questions, ask us right now. I'm going to try. I love having you on these. These are fun, dude.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah. Chesko's always beats himself up afterwards. He's like, I sounded like an idiot. I'm like, dude, I am an idiot.
Yeah, but is it better being an idiot and not sound like it?
How'd you be in the suit?
There's a zipper. There's a zipper. Thank God.
How often do you write and how much do you dedicate to writing? Not much recently because we've been shooting a lot. We both were talking yesterday about how we want to get back into writing more. And I used to dedicate... It's weird. I'm so unorganized when it comes... So are you. Like, we never dedicate time to writing. It was more just like, oh, I lost track of time writing. Like, oh, I wrote this thing and it took me... I was up all night. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it just happens where, like, somebody ends up staying up all night writing something and then the next day is like, hey, I wrote something.
Yeah.
Like, let's look at it.
Let's take a look at it.
But it was never planned, like, I'm going to write something today.
No, exactly. Exactly. Do you storyboard? We did not storyboard a lot of Jason, but certain sequences were storyboarded. I can show... I don't have them with me, but I could show at one point. But yes, for bigger sequences that are more intricate in the sense of, like, there's a good bit of characters. What we did actually... Fuck me. What we did was we went to the location and we subbed each other in.
Yeah, I was going to say, we, like, shot the storyboards.
Yeah, we would do, like, shooting storyboards where we go to the location because we'd have the luxury to, which I know a lot of times you don't. And we just film frames we liked and then figure out the best frames to tell the story. So basically we just did live action storyboards in a sense. Is the film wrapped or still shooting? It is still shooting, but it's basically principal photography is wrapped, I'd say. Yeah. What do you think of the Batman suit? I love Pattinson's suit. Or do you mean our suit? Because both are cool. What's the projected runtime for Jason? We tried to do this math the other day. We're going, what did we set on, like one, at least?
Over an hour, definitely. Yeah. Like 110.
110.
Something like that.
Around, give or take.
Around 110, yeah.
If budget weren't an issue, would you make a sci-fi or science fiction fantasy movie or show? I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe like horror. We do like expensive
horror.
shit.
Yeah.
I don't really have any sci-fi stories right in my soul right now to do, if that makes sense. Have you been shooting Jason 2? No. We will release one, open up a new Indiegogo, and if you guys want to, then we shall make 2. Thank you, Paul, for the super chat, dude. It means the world. I love that little on-set thing that popped up. That's cool. Did you play the Resident Evil 4 remake? I did not. What is some of the direction you gave Francesco on the set? Do you remember anything I ever said to you? Francesco and I have this silent kind of working relationship
Shorthand,
where I'm like, and he's like,
then I'm like,
yeah, exactly. I remember one time, I don't know if you have anything that comes to mind. I remember one time I said, try to deliver this like you are Leo who plays child Jason. Like try to hit this note as if you're a kid again.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And that was
what moment that was.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. And that, I don't know, that was like the first time I felt like I had smart direction to say on the
Shut the fuck up. I think you had great direction the entire time.
Oh, yours being nice.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Why don't you tell them what's some direction I gave you? I actually don't know. Like it's such a dream making the movie. Like it's such a like surreal experience that I can't remember.
Well, I don't know. I think like it's like tough because you're never really like, okay, do this.
No,
you know, like you've never done that. I can't say like I ever felt like that's ever happened. It's always been like, it's always just been like, okay, let's do it again.
Yeah.
You know, or like let's do it again. But like, what do you think of this? And it's always within the same realm of what we're already doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And then sometimes like a lot of it comes from. I think the best direction always comes when it'll be. At least with me and you, right? There's a moment. Mm-hmm. We do the moment. We execute the moment. It'd be like 5-6 takes. All right. At the sixth take, maybe I'll do something that wasn't scripted or whatever. That might just like randomly happen. It comes out. You'd be like, okay, I like that. Let's play into that. Now it's like when you do that, like let's hit this note, this, and this, and that's like when the best direction comes out.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm very, very loose. Like I'm not on set. Like ask anybody who worked with us. I'm never like do it this way. My direction's mostly like, oh, I think. That was a little angry when you're actually very, very fucking guilty. Stuff like that. I think like try it with a bit more guilt, you know. And I'm never like do it. I'm like try it. You know what I'm saying? Because I hate commands. If you're commanding, I think you're doing it a little. You're restricting the creativity. Because if I was like, I mean, you know me, so you know what I meant. But if I told someone that didn't know me as well as he does, and I was like, do it quieter, then their whole take. They're worried about doing it quieter. Do it faster. Their whole take, they're worried about doing it faster. It takes away that authenticity. Yeah. Or if I say, oh, why don't you try with a bit more urgency? Or why don't you try like a bit more tenderness? It's like you're trying it. You're not locked into doing it.
And I think like I want to say something off that because there are like the majority of directors, at least like where I've worked with, which isn't many, but it's a lot, or it's a good amount, are the opposite.
Yeah.
Like it's not like that.
Yeah.
It is do it faster.
Yeah.
Or do it quieter. And then as an actor, you have to be able to like translate that.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh fuck, do it faster because you will get in your head. If someone says to you, do this faster, you're gonna start talking faster. And you're gonna start talking at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and it's gonna make any sense what the fuck you're saying. Yeah. Right? But what are they really saying? You know, if you translate to an actor's note, it's like, okay, maybe what I need to communicate isn't getting through. I need to be able to understand. I need to make this person understand me. So who I'm talking to, I need them to get what I'm saying. So it's like, get your point across. Yeah. Maybe necessarily, that might be the direction. Yeah. Not speak faster.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Like
you can't, because it's like you can't dictate body. This is so pretentious. You can't dictate body. You have to direct soul, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like that's so pretentious. But I feel like, you know, it's never like, oh, like sometimes I'll be like, if it's just us, especially, and we're not on a big set, I'll be like I'll be like face up towards the light a little bit more. Yeah. Only because I don't want to make you do everything you're doing again. And I'm like, okay, your eyes, if they look right here, would hit it perfectly, you know? Yeah. There's stuff like that you have to do. Okay, sorry. Next question. Do you think Pattinson is too careless? I feel like Batman wouldn't continue chase with the Penguin as opposed to helping people. I think because he's young, it works. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because he's young and he's angry and he's inexperienced. I think kind of the most brilliant piece, I don't know if it was Reeves or Pattinson, probably both, is when he's running on top of the police station and he gets scared of the heights. Because you're not used to Batman getting scared of heights. You know, and he goes like, whoa, for a second.
It's such a cool scene.
It's just great. But I don't think he's too careless. I think kind of the point is he's too careless, especially in that movie. If he continues to be that way, that's a different thing. But did the animated Under the Red Hood film have any influence? I think so. I think of course, yeah. Could you make a letterbox list of films that inspired Jason? I'd love to give them a watch. Sure, yeah. We could do that. Yeah, that's easy. Sure. Yeah. Off the top of my head, I told everyone who was on our crew that it was like Good Time, Moonlight, American Honey, a bit of Goodfellas, and then it was like the Netflix Daredevil show. I told a few of our actors to watch, and that kind of, I think that was like that's the basic one, but I can go and make an extensive one. Is there going to be a lot of action in Jason? There's a lot of violence. Are there any other films in the works? We always have stuff in the works, but right now Jason is our singular kind of focus right now. What was your first film? What was the first thing we made together? Was it Business? Was that like the first time I aimed a camera at you? Other than like maybe us goofing around.
Goofing off or like something at Steeltown, then probably just Business.
We did Business before Steel, or were we already?
I think we were already there.
That's crazy.
Like in and out, yeah.
Was the King short where you're in a Burger King thing was not Return. Didn't you do
the
one?
Original King.
Yeah, at Steeltown. Was that
the,
before Monkey? That's probably after.
That's
right?
probably after Monkey, I would say.
How was directing a young actor, Jason, as a kid? Leo is a fucking professional.
Yeah,
Leo is
more professional than me.
It's true. Leo was a joy to direct because with kids you don't have to work around anything, right? Like with adults, I feel like we become less in touch with our emotions, right? If I'm just like Leo, I think Jason had a really shitty day. Leo gives me an Oscar-winning performance. Take one. You know what I mean? Like I loved working with Leo. But yeah, I think that if you are working with kids, you always have to make sure. Leo was a different case because he was so mature in the sense that like he was just always like a little. He was
well, he just knows about it too. I think. Like, he knows. I don't know. I think he knows how it works. He's probably more than like we do in a weird way.
He might have been he might be on more sets.
He might have ended up on more sets.
Yeah, genuinely. So he was ready to go at all times. Like I think the number one thing is just make sure that if you're working with a child actor, they're comfortable, right? You don't want to just boss them around because that's probably no matter what. Like Leo was a fearless motherfucker, but. You know, I think if you're a kid and there's all these strange people telling you to do things on camp, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all these people you don't know and you're like, oh, yeah, cry. You know, I think Jason's really sad. It's like you want to make sure that they're comfortable and that they feel, you know, safe and secure and like they have the freedom to get in touch with their emotions. As with any actor, honestly, you know what I mean? Thoughts on a horror film where Batman is the antagonist who's portrayed as the paranormal entity? I would love that. We've talked about that. Wouldn't that be cool if there was like, you know, a movie where it's like, I love a movie from like a goon's perspective. Jason's kind of like that a little bit, but like a movie that's like not even an important goon, like just some fucking Two-Face thug. And the whole movie is just following this Two-Face thug. I mean, Jason.
And you like don't know it's a Batman movie?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, you like, what? I mean, dude, honestly, we did all that a little bit. But,
yeah.
I want to make videos like you, like the video essay related stuff. I made a few already, but I only use my iPhone and iMovie. Any advice on making better videos and trying to improve? I think you already are doing it, man. You're making videos. Trying to improve is you just keep making it. You save your money and you invest in yourself, right? Like I recorded on my phone mic for the first like 10 YouTube videos. And then eventually I saved up enough money to buy this mic, you know, and I think it's stuff like that. Invest in yourself and believe in yourself. How to deal with major regrets that would make you feel like you screwed up? What could have been the best part of your life is gone and not coming back. I'm in my late teens, close to adulthood. I think everyone feels that, man. And I'm sorry you're feeling that. Like the amount of times we've talked about how we fucked up and we have so many regrets. I think part of life is learning to live with regret and then making sure to not repeat past sins, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to. I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but. Oh my God, like there's so many things that have happened to both of us that I strongly regret doing, you know, and I think it's just making sure you don't fall back into that same cycle, whether it was a relationship or what you were doing with your time or, you know, a job or a friendship. Just make sure you don't fall into the similar kind of toxicity and don't bring toxicity into the world. Try to just focus on what you need and what you love and what you care about. And look forward instead of always looking back. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fucking perfect.
But I'm sorry you're going through that, man. Thank you, Oz Productions or OZ Productions. I don't know which one it is. I love your Sonic picture. Any thoughts on the current Sonic movies? I believe that you said you were interested in Shadow the Hedgehog one once upon a time, and he will be the next one. There'll be a universe movies I'll be paying for. These are the only universe movies I'll be paying for. Honestly, good for you, man. I loved Sonic 2. Like, I saw Sonic 2, dude. I love that movie. I was like, this is great. When they got the team shot of, like, Tails, Knuckles, and Sonic, I was like, shit, this is better than Endgame. Okay. No, I really do enjoy the Sonic movies, honestly. I mean, they're not perfect by any means, but... No, I said that I would... One time, I think I said that I would love... Someone asked me if I would ever direct a Sonic movie, and I said I would kill to direct Shadow the Hedgehog, and I want you voicing him. Like, you know what I mean? I think it'd be awesome. You know what I mean? We do this. You're like the CG hedgehog. That'd be great. You know what I mean? I love it. You got the guns. We do like the super dark shadow take. Does Francesca want to do another Plumber film? Yes, there is a Plumber film laying around.
There is a script lying around somewhere.
I don't know if you want to do it, but it's we want to eventually. We have a few ideas of how to continue the Plumber legacy. Would you ever make an Invincible fan film? I like the show. I just don't have enough to say about the character and his world, so probably not. Will Jason fight Dick or any other Bat family members? No. I can say that. No. When is your Jason Todd show coming out? It is coming out in December is our goal. Christmas Day of this year is our goal. Alex, I need to see the Bat suit. When is that coming out? You might see that sooner than you think. I'm losing my creativity to make good characters in the story. Any advice to help me get that creativity back? Oh man, that's a tough one. I feel like that's the plague of being an artist. You know how many times you were like, I'm creatively bankrupt, or I'm like, I got nothing, I'm creatively bankrupt.
Yeah.
You just have to give yourself time. I don't think you ever lose creativity, honestly. I think that maybe it takes a break. It goes away for a while, but it always comes back.
Yeah, I think that's when you take the time to go look for inspirations, right? Like, you just open your mind up to it. Like, you said this earlier, like, open yourself up to the possibility of writing, but never decide, oh, I'm gonna write tonight. So if you're, like, stuck in something where you feel like you can't creatively function, then maybe it's best at that time to take a break from trying to creatively execute and try to go get creatively inspired.
Yeah,
you know?
Beautifully said. Do the questions have to be about Jason Todd? No. I mean, it's easier for both of us to answer if they are. Question for Francesco, and then I gotta pee one more time. We'll show the clip. I'll leave you alone after you answer this question, and then we'll show the clip, and then we can end the stream. But is there a certain kind of character that is your favorite to play? Yeah, that's a great question. A miserable piece of
well, so far, like, obviously, I don't know. My favorite character that I've been able to play, like, is Jason, because that's the deepest I've been able to go into any role, and that's, like, the most fleshed out character I've ever been able and allowed to play. When it comes to, like, character types, I'm very drawn to characters that are very different from me, which in a lot of scenarios, Jason is similar to me, much closer than the plumber, for example. But I love playing the plumber because that's when you feel a different kind of freedom, a freedom that you can do anything and you can't be wrong, because it's so removed from who you are. But I think that so far I'm lucky to have played Jason, and it's definitely been the most amazing experience I've had. But yeah, I think that's it for characters I like to play.
Please give us a Shadow the Hedgehog audition, Francesco.
Whoa.
If I give you a Shadow line, will you read it?
Sure.
Damn, where's that fourth Chaos Emerald?
Damn, where's that fourth Chaos Emerald? I don't know about it.
You got the part. Francesco for Shadow. We're going to start Twitter. You're going to go to sleep, wake up with Francesco for Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh, shit. Let's see.
Francesco for Shadow. Favorite video game? We answered that earlier in the stream. I said BioShock, and you said Gauntlet for the GameCube. It's a personal question, so feel free not to answer. But do either of you attend therapy regularly? I used to. I know you both struggle with mental health. I hope you do both get better. I used to, and it helped a lot. I do think that therapy, at least in America, is so overpriced and not accessible. So I basically, when I had the most money I've ever had in my life, I could afford therapy. And then as soon as that, I went back to not having that, I couldn't afford therapy anymore. But yeah. Francesco's like, no.
Well, no, I mean, I think it's good. I think it's important, but I've just never been able to go for literally the same exact reasons. I don't know. But I also think that you can find your own way to give yourself therapy.
Mm-hmm. No, that's complete.
I hope, I want to believe in that at least, because that's shit. I don't know. If not, I'm fucked.
No, I mean, yeah, I think that it also depends on who your therapist is and if it works for you. You know, like I don't think it's not like one giant Band-Aid that you can put on everybody, if that makes sense, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Do you think you would ever take the Ari Aster route and adapt any of your shorts into features? Yeah, totally, dude. Totally. Plumber, we'd love to do a plumber feature.
Plumber feature? That'd be cool.
I think you'd die, dude.
Oh,
I think by the end of the shoot, you'd be a dead man.
Who wants to see a plumber feature?
Yeah. Why don't you hashtag that? It's hashtag Shadow the Hedgehog. How long has your Batman been Batman? We never said exact time. I think at least a decade. Maybe a decade. Because he's had to have gone through Dick.
Yeah.
I'm going to say a decade.
He's still young.
Younger, on the younger side. I think if I had to do it, I'd say our Batman started being Batman at 25. He started younger than you would expect, right? I mean, I don't know. Not really. He first put on like a prototype Cal at 25, and I think when you meet Batman in our movie, he's in his like mid to late 30s. I think, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay, guys, I think we'll show the clip. Thank you all.
Ooh.
I hope we got to your. Did you see a question you liked?
No, I was just thinking about the clip.
Oh, okay.
That's
You're like
where I might have to go.
How long? Okay, cool. That Batman Forever poster had in my room as a kid. So did I, dude. I love that poster. I had to go dig it out of storage when I made my Batman Forever video because I loved making that video so much. How does it feel to be the best looking video essayist in the industry? That's not true. That's not true. Thank you for the compliment, but that's not true. What would you consider to be a well-written villain? Does writing a human villain prevent you from writing a villain that's menacing? I think that too often people want to make a villain sympathetic instead of maybe the word I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but I feel like you can have a great villain that is you feel for. You can feel empathy for a villain.
Yeah.
But I think that like a lot of the time people want to do like, oh, here's the Thanos that makes sense. Like his philosophy makes sense. I like villains where philosophy doesn't make sense, but there's that bit of humanity or tragedy that you can latch on to.
Yeah, I think if the humanity of the villain makes you empathize with their choices, then like that's enough.
Yeah.
But I hate whenever something overtly tries to victimize the villain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, same. I think that there's like of course exceptions. Like I think what Sam Raimi did with all his villains worked really well. Like especially I know people hate it, but I love Eddie Brock in Spider-Man 3 because of how non-sympathetic he is. Like, he's just a douchebag. You know what I mean? Like, he's so sad and pathetic that you kind of feel bad for him, but he's just kind of a dick, you know? And I like that because Raimi's so good at doing the sympathetic villain, but here comes a guy who's just a dick. Tyler says, cheers, guys. Hello, Tyler. Sorry I keep sending you 1,000-word emails, but thank you, dude. Chesko watches sports. Ever tried watching sports? Chesko's a sports guy.
I watch soccer.
He's still sad about Italy.
Oh god.
Okay, cool. I think we're gonna play the movie will be released for free on YouTube. If you want to support the Indiegogo, still open somehow. The Indiegogo is still open. You can follow us on Twitter. We're gonna play the clip and then I'll pop back and say goodbye. Let's hope that this works. Guys, you gotta tell me if it's not working. Okay, ready? So I'm going to mute everything that we're doing. Okay, ready?
Hey, Roxy.
Hey, Jay.
What's this about?
Pigs.
You good?
Yeah, where you been?
Busy.
Sure.
What?
Nothing.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. I know it's tough for you this time of year. You know I know that.
I know.
Here.
You shouldn't have.
I did. Don't open it in front of me. You do that.
Okay. Thank you.
You wanna walk together?
I can't. I gotta go.
See John?
Yes.
Can I come?
I don't know.
I get it.
I'm sorry. Just be safe tonight.
Jason? Jay. You don't have to make it this way. You know that?
I miss you.
That's your own fault.
Cool. Okay, cool.
Okay,
I
that
hope.
wasn't too bad, huh?
That's a very rough cut. There might be some different shots, different music for sure. I just figured I'd share it with you guys to let you know that all the money that you've given and all the support you've given towards the project, it is paying off. What do you guys think of the scene? We'll go for like 5 more minutes. I hope
you.
you.
Dead silent.
Yeah, dead silent. Everyone left. They're like, I'm done. Oh man, that's funny.
Gone.
They're like, I'm gone. I'm done. It's over. Oh man. Damn, that was tasty. Amazing. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me now. Jason being an actual character. Kino. Yes, that was our goal, is making Jason a character.
Yeah.
Super cool. Thank you. Should have walked with her, Jason. Jesus Christ.
Shit,
I know. What an asshole, right?
Honestly, I'm not on Jason's team on this one.
I love the way you write dialogue. Yeah, that seems very much from Francesco's brain, too. I can't take credit for that one. That was a late addition to the screenplay. Loved it. Felt so tender. Thank you. The very first delivery from Jason isn't as good as the rest, but I still loved it. Damn.
Well, shit. I'll take it.
Yeah, everything could change about that clip. It's gonna be a little different. We probably won't post it on Twitter until we lock it in. Made me tear up. That's awesome. I love that. Rough cut. Yeah, that's an extreme rough cut, man. Extreme rough cut. Like, it's gonna be very, I wouldn't say very different. Like, the soul's still the same.
Yeah, but I mean, it'll probably change.
More polished to it. Yeah, and I love it shows how emotionally distant Jason is. Great. Pretty damn good. That was cinematic as fuck. Great camera work. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys. Very human, realistic. Doesn't feel like you're reading a script. Thank you. The dialogue felt a little too fast, though. Yeah, I mean, that's something that could change, too. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say I'm going to change it now, like right now, but that's something that could totally change. Finding the right rhythm between Roxy and Jay is always hard. In the script, it's actually faster. They're talking over each other constantly, and we played it a little slower. But we'll see. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching, man. Can't wait to eat popcorn to Jason. A little context around that scene without giving too much away, I guess. What can we even say? Roxy Drake is an original character created by us. Yes, I can say this. Yes, she has a brother named Tim.
Yeah.
But we wanted Jason to have. Jason surrounds himself with a bunch of older people in this film, I think, you know. But Roxy's the one person his age that he can kind of be his age around, because I think Jason was forced to grow up fast.
Yeah, that's entirely it.
And that was all you. Chesco was like, I think we need to bring in, because I had thought about bringing Roxy in 2 or 3, and Francesco was like, I think we need her in this movie. And he had a great pitch for why. And I think I loved Michelle's performance. She's incredible.
She's great.
You're great. I love the Raimi lighting on faces. Yeah, I mean, that was, of course. Now make a rom-com between Tim Drake and Stephanie Brown. Yes, that's our next film, a rom-com. Hey, the dialogue is thick. Thanks, guys. The concepts is there. Just needs more polish. Well, of course it'll be more polished. Alex is creating his own original DC lore. Of course. Roxy is a weird name, lol. We like it. Aren't there licensing problems? No, because we're not making any money off of it. But thank you for watching. How big is it, bro? Oh, are you talking about the gentleman downstairs? Or are you talking about the movie? Because the timeline of the movie is pretty huge. Okay, guys, I think that, are they a couple in this one? No. I won't say anything more than that. How experienced is the Roxy actress? She's
great.
Our age, but she's so talented, dude. The regret in Jason's eyes is crazy. 10 out of 10. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I think Francesco's so hard on himself, but I love that scene. I'm glad that you guys are liking it, especially considered it's not done and it's completely out of context and it's in the middle of this long sequence of scenes. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that you guys are digging it. But thank you. Francesco really impressed me with The Plumber. Can't wait for the Jason series.
Thank you.
All right, guys. I think that's it, man. I hope that you guys enjoyed that clip. Runtime around an hour 10.
Yeah.
For more info, we probably won't post that clip anywhere because I don't want people to judge it before we're sure that it's done, because we're always making changes. I'm sure you'll see bits of it. We already posted like a moment of it on Twitter, but that is a scene that I feel that's kind of the only scene we can show without spoiling anything right now. Are you going to be emotional when watching Guardians? Hell yeah, man. Cool. The heartfelt vibes really come through. Thanks, man. That's the point. Dialogue is sick. Few less cuts because the handheld should lend itself to fewer cuts. Could work. But damn, that works. Yeah, that's a huge thing that could change too, is figuring out the exact rhythm of a scene. You know what I mean? I think that that we don't have a full rough cut of a whole movie yet. You know what I'm saying? So that scene could end up being longer. And we had talked about this. Our philosophy for each scene right now is we're gonna cut the shortest version we can of the scene, and then we're going to go back and fill it in, because I think we always fuck ourselves on our shorts.
Yeah.
Because we make what should be a 16-minute short, we have a 25-minute cut, and then it's like we have to lose this. But if we're watching a full rough cut of Jason, we're like, oh, we actually could afford to give this more breathing room. But no,
yeah,
thank
I
you
think
guys.
that's how we go for it.
Yeah, thank you guys. You're so nervous. You're like, they just saw the fucking clip. I'm gonna go
I'm
die.
gonna go kill myself. What?
In game, he's joking.
Yeah.
Where can I watch the movie once it's released? For free on YouTube. Are they a couple in this one? I can't answer that. Cool. Okay, guys, I think we're gonna end the stream, but thank you for watching. Tweet about Jason. Tweet us about Jason. We will respond. I can't wait to show you guys the new video I'm working on, Batman Beyond. Can't wait to show you more Jason. Thanks for coming on.
Well, no, thank you. No, thanks everybody for watching though, actually, and tuning in, because like without it, we wouldn't be anywhere. So
we wouldn't be anywhere at all. Yeah. Now Francesco's gonna go have a panic attack.
I'm gonna go have a panic attack outside in about 15 minutes.
Okay. Thank you guys.
Right.
Let me figure out how to end the stream gracefully.